going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch here with Dilly Vanilli. We are here to break down, predict, and preview the New England Patriots, the Super Bowl champions going into 2019. I feel like I've said that before. Dylan, have I said that before?
I have no recollection of any of these moments before today. No, not at all.
The Patriots, okay, they're going 13-3. They're going to the Super Bowl. They'll probably win it. We'll just wrap up the video there. So Gronk, spike the like button, subscribe to the channel for more NFL. Thanks for watching. Peace out. No, I'm just kidding. We'll actually break them down. I know there's a lot of Patriots fans that are looking forward to this season. I think it's again, another interesting Patriots season. There's basically no season that's not interesting when it's Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, Rob Gronkowski is retired. There's been multiple moves in the offseason that I think people are very excited about. Actually drafting a receiver in the first round. What is that? So that's going to be fun. The Patriots will be competitors this year. They'll be in the AFC Championship probably like 99%. And then what's going to happen? Like, are they going to have home field? That's the biggest question when it comes to Patriots fans on their mind. But the Patriots, with the great coaching they have, the great quarterback play they have, it's almost certain that they're going to be a playoff team and going to be a very good team this year. When looking at the rest of their roster, Julian Edelman recently has had a thumb injury. Not concerned about that. I've had broken thumbs before. It should take 4 to 5 weeks, and he'll be back on the football field. Probably got too hard of a pass on the thumb, and that's what happened, probably. N'Keal Harry, I am excited to see what he can do as a rookie out wide receiver. His big body over the middle, I think he will probably do a lot of the things that was asked of Gronk in terms of maybe he'll line up in the slot or line up on the outside. A lot of the over the middle sort of routes, maybe the red zone presence. A lot of Tom Brady in training camp already has been working on the fades in the end zone and some of the Rob Gronkowski sort of routes. So I'm looking forward to that. Also, Belichick has kind of praised him for his ability to break tackles and move in the open field. The question about their offense really is outside of Edelman and maybe Harry, who is a rookie, but he's expected to do good things. What are they going to get out of the rest of the receivers? We don't know if Josh Gordon is coming back yet. The NFL has not told us any information, so we kind of have to assume right now that he's not going to be playing. So if he's not playing, is Philip Dorsett going to still be that number 3 guy? Is Braxton Berrios going to have a breakout training camp and make the team? Is Demaryius Thomas going to be anything relevant to this football team coming off the pup? Is a undrafted guy like Jacoby Myers going to be the guy? Or is a guy that's really, some have said from the Patriot Beat report that Maurice Harris has been the best receiver in camp with Edelman not there. He's really shined a little bit. And coming from the Redskins where he had some moments, but of course the Redskins are not known for their passing game. Maybe he can develop in the Patriot system. The offensive line, Isaiah Wynn is the biggest question mark coming off the Achilles injury. A first-round pick with very high expectations will be taking over for the highest-paid tackle in the NFL, Trent Brown now. But the rest of the offensive line is fantastic, and it's arguably the best in the game with, in my opinion, the best guard duo with Mason and Tooney. Andrews is a very good center. Marcus Cannon's a solid right tackle. But can Wynn replace Brown? That's the question. And they have very good depth there on the offensive line. Also, the tight end position taking over for Gronk. Ben Watson, he's suspended for 4 games. Is Matt Lacoste, who I'm convinced that Belichick signed him because his name is almost lacrosse. I am convinced that's why he was signed. Will he be the guy over the first 4 weeks as Watson is out? They just signed Lance Kendricks to possibly be a blocking tight end there. And their running backs are fantastic with great depth. Will Sony be able to stay healthy? Will James White be their number 2 receiver this year? And Damian Harris, the rookie, has looked impressive, but can he add an element to this team that possibly Rex Burkhead wasn't able to add? Before I transfer to the defense and really what I'm excited about this football team, I'm going to let Dylan get in there because I know I have a lot to say because this is my team. So just as I let you talk about the Cowboys, you will let me talk about the Patriots. But get into your Patriot thoughts. I want to hear the outside perspective about the Patriots and what you possibly see from them in 2019.
What do I got to say about this team,
It's hard.
It's so hard because we always talk about, last year, let me give you an example. I had this team initially at 11-5, and people were like, I don't know about that one. Okay, like that's a little low. And then I was like, you know what? I gave in. I gave them a 12-4, and then I was right. 11-5 was the record. And then every time I would be like, okay, the Patriots might take a misstep here. They might be losing. They don't. They always prove me wrong. They continue to win. Why would I pick against this team? Okay, because I picked them against the Chargers. They beat the Chargers. Picked them against the Chiefs. Patriots won. I didn't pick them against the Rams because that would just be dumb. But it was like, okay, this could be close. I have them at 13-3. I have them as the best record in the NFL. I have them as the best record in the AFC. I will be talking about some of the things I do like about this team, though, to try to change it up. I do like N'Keal Harry. I think that was a great pick at the last pick of this first round. I think one of the things that we talked about Bill Belichick in drafts is that he's not very good at drafting receivers. So here in this draft, I think he wants to get a good guy. I think this is a really good piece for him. He'll have to step in here year one. Julian Edelman is good, as brought up. Obviously, he's a tremendous postseason. We'll see what he does here in 2019. I think this will be an interesting season for him. And, shout out to my boy Braxton Berrios. I like my boy Braxton Berrios there. Offensive line, you brought up Isaiah Wynn. He's coming off that injury. Let's see what he does here. That'll be interesting. I think they had one of the more underrated offensive lines in 2018. We'll see how that goes. Tight end, I think, is a little short, but it also hasn't been a big piece of their offense for probably the last 2 seasons. I know Gronk was there, but he just wasn't particularly healthy. It was big in games like the AFC Championship game, but in terms of a full season production, we haven't had that since. I want to see what they do here. Benjamin Watson's coming back out of retirement, if you will. Matt Lacoste, it's not really special for me. Do I need to say anything about Brady? Like, honestly, like if there's one player I do not need to say anything, it's Brady. But coming in here another year, can he prove everybody wrong? Probably, but he'll still put up good stats. He's still a great leader. He still knows what he's got to do, and he knows how to put certain guys, even unexperienced guys, in great positions as receivers. And then we all talked about this in our underrated players. Both of these guys were mentioned. Sony Michel and James White, a really good duo together that I really like coming in here, with Sony Michel having a great rookie year, and James White, when he's utilized, is fantastic. Defensively, I think this was one of the more underrated defenses that we had last year, and there's a lot of great pieces. Dietrich Wise, I think, had a really good season. Lawrence Guy, Danny Shelton fits in this role, surprisingly enough. Michael Bennett coming over here from Philadelphia. That's going to be an interesting role if he's healthy. Kyle Van Noy get absolutely spit on and destroyed by the Madden rating. I honestly do not understand. Did they watch any games of him last year? I'm not a Patriots fan, but 75 is an absolute spit in the face. Jason McCourty did well, coming in here last year. He was very excited last year. Now he's going to be even, playing longer. Patrick Chung is great. Devin McCourty is great. Stephon Gilmore, to me, was the best corner last season. I know a lot of people won't publicize that. They'll put Jalen Ramsey. They'll put whoever they want to put. But I think Stephon Gilmore was the best corner last season. Overall, and of course, you still have the best coach in NFL history, Bill Belichick. There's no defense coordinator. He's going to be calling the plays. But this team is stacked. There's nothing that changes. Until I actually see on the field, like, less production, I cannot predict them to go low. So I'm going to go 13-3. Surprisingly enough, we saw all 5 teams that they lost to last season didn't make the playoffs. So I don't know if that's going to change or anything. I don't really know who they're going to lose to. I think 13-3. That's just where I'm going. That's how I'm feeling.
Yeah, man. And the reason why I'm also going with 13-3 is because typically the Patriots are not very good early in the season. I've said this many times. Typically, that's where they kind of have their bumps in the road, right? Well, let's take a look at their schedule. Okay, so the opening game of the season is against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It's hard.
But that's the opening game with the banner on Sunday Night Football. I know they've lost one of those before against the Chiefs. But also, the Chiefs are like the best opening game team in the NFL. So that's a different story all in itself. They play at home. They play the Steelers. They're gonna win that game. Come on. So they play the Steelers. Then after that, they play the Dolphins. I know it's in Miami. I know it's okay. They might lose that game, but the Dolphins are worse than they have been in the past.
Yes.
The Jets at home, they should win, and they play the Bills. So they play 3 divisional games in the first 4 weeks, and typically they dominate their division. We know this. So that being said, that's an easier opening schedule with more familiar opponents, which makes me confident that they'll have a better start to the season. At least 3-1, in my opinion. So then when you go down the stretch, they always get better as the season goes on. That makes me believe their regular season record will be better, because we know regular season record for the Patriots doesn't matter too much, because they're going to end up with the number 1 or the number 2 seed, and they're going to be a competitor. So it doesn't matter too much. It's going to be maybe 2 to 5 losses, but they'll be in the competition, in the running in the playoffs. But I do see it as 3 losses this year. And when I look at it as an identity, I see the Patriots offense being, again, run heavy, going even more to that. I think you're going to see a lot of play action still. I do think they're going to have their running backs very involved in the offense, more so than the tight end position. With Gronk leaving, I think running backs like White and Harris, the reason why they drafted him, Michelle, Burkhead, these guys are all going to be more heavily involved, along with one of the other most underrated players in the league, James Devlin, who was a crucial piece of their championship last year. These guys are going to have a bigger role in this offense, with the tight end kind of taking a step back, and probably a receiver, maybe more 3 receiver sets are going to be a bigger deal. And of course, Josh McDaniels is one of the best offensive minds in football. We'll figure that out. Defensively is where I am very, very intrigued for this team. Even Bill Belichick already, which is super rare, has said he already feels like this defense is better by talking to Willie McGinnis. Willie McGinnis brought it up in an interview, and I don't think Belichick wanted it to be brought up, but he did compliment the defense regardless. Michael Bennett is still a terror as a pass rusher. He proved that last year as having one of the top 5 most pressures in the league in Philadelphia. Danny Shelton plays a very nice role in the interior as a run stuffer. Mike Pennell's a nice addition from the Jets, doing the same thing. Chase Winovich is an intriguing rookie piece off the edge in the 3rd round with a ton of kind of electricity and excitement, and I think he'll bring that youth to this defense. That's very nice to see from an off-the-field perspective. Lawrence Guy was a phenomenal last year. Not a lot of people talk about him. And the linebackers are way deeper than last year, with Jawan Bentley coming back from injury, was starting in week 2 already, and he got injured. Jamie Collins apparently is looking more so like his old self in training camp, with Dante Hightower, Kyle Van Noy, and Landon Roberts may not even make this roster. That is how much better this linebacker position is. The secondary I've spoke at length about. I feel like it is the best in the league from a depth perspective, and even possibly a starting perspective, with three deep at safety, with Chung, McCourty, and Harmon, the closer. Gilmore, as Dylan brought up, the best corner in football, Jason McCourty. And then you add the 2nd-round picks, Jawan Williams, Duke Dawson, and you have Jonathan Jones there, and J.C. Jackson, of course. So this team is loaded. And with Tom Brady speaking in another interview saying that he feels he's faster, which has been timed, his arm, he's been working on his arm strength and his strength. And I just don't see the regression coming for Tom Brady, which is where you could potentially see the losses add up if Tom Brady's not the same player. But I don't see that happening, because honestly, last year was a little bit of a down year for Tom Brady, and I don't think that happens again this year. So I'm going with a 13-3 record. I see the Patriots going very far in the playoffs, very deep in the playoffs, potentially winning the Super Bowl again. But this is another really good Patriots team with what I feel is a better defense, possibly a worse offense, but a better defense, and just another really well-rounded roster with great coaching and great quarterback play. Like Dylan said, there's nothing else that needs to be added or said, but we can hear from you guys. Comment section. Let us know what you guys think about the Patriots. Do you think they're being overrated this year? Do you think this is finally the year they're going to fall off? Or do you see this as another great, successful Patriots season? And how far do you see the Patriots going in 2019? Gronk, spike the like button. Subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos just like this. From Mitch and Dylan, peace.
Peace.